Gentlemen, what's happening? So I'm running through my little town and I realized that they're actually having an art festival today. Tons of booths, amazing art, some not so amazing, but this got me thinking a little bit about art and how much I love it. And so today, what I thought I'd actually do is show you my art collection, the pieces that mean a lot to me, the pieces that I spend a lot of money on, and just talk and show you something that I'm very passionate about. So if that sounds good, drop me one of these.
Have you ever seen a picture, a sculpture, a photograph that just, it resonates with you? Like you feel it in your soul. When this happens, this, in my opinion, is something magical. And the thing that I love so much about art is that you get to enjoy it like every single day. And even if it is a little bit like expensive, right? The fact that you get to put it on your wall and every single day you get to see it, you get to enjoy it, you get to feel that feeling, I feel like it's worth it. And so for me and my wife, we have really kind of enjoyed over the years kind of investing a little bit in art. Now, the truth is that art is a horrible investment. Most art that you buy is literally like not worth anything unless you find a specific buyer that has your same taste or understands that artist. Most of the time, you've got to just understand that if you're buying or spending money on something, it is for you, it is for your enjoyment, and you are never going to get a return. You're never going to be able to sell it. But that being said, when you find something that speaks to you and you just love, it's worth every penny, in my opinion. And so over the course of the past few years, we've started to kind of buy some nicer art, right? We'll enjoy going to galleries. If we're out of town, we'll go in and we'll look. And when we see something or find something that really just resonates with us, if we have a place for it, we'll buy it, right? If we can afford it and all that good stuff. Now, the truth is that our current house, we're kind of like out of room. And so one of the things that I'm actually excited about in the new house is being able to go shopping for some new art. Because I've already been like thinking like, okay, like this, the moose is gonna go over my fireplace in my study, and then the buffalo, which I'll show you in a second, is gonna go over the fireplace in the dining room. Like I've already got in my mind like where certain pieces of art are gonna be, where they're gonna live, and where we're going to get to enjoy them. So anyway, I will spend a little bit of money on art. Now, this bad boy behind me, so this moose is my prized possession, one of them. And I love this thing so much. When I saw it, it was at a local art gallery on the Marietta Square. My wife and I, it was a Friday night, we were walking around and I saw it. And my wife saw it and we just were captivated by it. We loved it. We loved the orange, we loved the color, we just loved it, right? And the gallery owner, Donna, we've become friends with, but she actually was like, hey, the artist is here who painted it. Would you like to meet her? We're like, yeah, sure. The price was $9,000. And so she goes over and she brings over the artist. The artist's name is Susan Easton Burns. Anyway, so she comes over and I'm like, hey, I love this painting. Can you tell me about it? Thinking that she's an artist, she's gonna have a story, right? Well, she goes, well, it's a moose. I go, okay. And that was it, crickets. I'm like, okay, well, it's really beautiful. And she goes, thanks, and she walks away. My wife and I are like, wait, that's it? That's the story? I wanted you to tell me that it's a moose named Seymour, that you're inspired by, like I needed a story. And so my wife and I looked at each other, and I was like, a moose isn't worth $9,000. A moose with the story is worth $9,000. So we ended up leaving, right? But I kept thinking about it. And that was one of the things. I kept thinking about it. There was this moose, and then there was another like buffalo at the same time, at the same exhibit that I really loved. Anyway, so we kept thinking about it, and I decided to go back and get it. I'm like, all right, that's the story. It's just a moose, but we bought it, and I loved it. I still love it. I love it every single day that I look at it. And that's the thing about art. When you find something that really resonates with you and your soul, it's just, it's special, right? I ended up buying the moose, and we loved it. And then a few months later, I went back for the buffalo, and I surprised my wife. This is a 10-year anniversary present. Same artist, and I just love this buffalo and I love the moose. And I already know like where it's gonna go in the new house. I just love these two paintings so much. Once again, it was around like $9,000. Well, a few years later, I was in Chicago at a T. Hanley thing. We were doing this like filming for this like little like series of videos for the website, and we ended up going to this house that was spectacular. It was like this old like warehouse garage, and when I was there, I saw these photographs, what I thought were photographs on the wall, and they were hanging up and they were gorgeous. And I'm looking at them and I was just captivated by them. And I've come to realize that the artist's name is Laurent Cheher. And he is actually a French photographer that has a series called Flying Houses. Well, after seeing them, I went to work trying to locate them. And I did 4 times. Here is the first flying house that I bought. Look how cool all the detail is, right? Little horse, the pigeons, little girl, little angel. Well, the way that this photographer actually works, he'll take like thousands of pictures, rocking and rolling all over France, and then he basically makes like a fictitious house. These things are amazing. These are actually in a limited quantity. So he's done a big series of them. I think there's like 30 of them, 30 different flying houses, and each one at this size is basically a limit of 6. So he only has made like 6 of these, and I have one, and I think that's kind of cool. Here's another flying house. And the really cool thing about this one is a crypt, obviously. All this graffiti is real graffiti. This crypt specifically is in a famous cemetery over in France. And so basically it's the same cemetery that Jim Morrison is buried in. And so the photographer basically took a bunch of photos of different crypts and the different graffiti, and he basically made a fictitious one. And something you're gonna notice over at my office when we go over there for me to show you some of those, I love like iconology. I love like religious artifacts. There's just something about them that reminds me of my grandparents, because my grandparents were like super Catholic. But this was the second one. Once again, there are only 6 of these in the world. I actually have... Check it out, there's a book of all the flying houses in the collection. Does this one look familiar? What? So anyway, famous artist, super cool, and I love his stuff. And here's the third one. Does this look familiar? Basically, when the Notre Dame Cathedral burnt down, this is kind of what it was, and he went and he took a picture, and then once again, he pieces all these together, and it is just fascinating to me. Like, you literally can spend like 20 minutes just sitting here and looking. Every time you look at one of these flying houses, you'll notice something different. The last one that I got was this one, and once again, it's just super cool. And I love the fact that there are only 6 of these in the world. This piece in our closet is my wife naked. I'm kidding. It is a naked woman, not my wife. Speaking of my wife, this is a picture that I bought thinking of my wife. So this is a really cool artist. I met her. Her name is Wyan. She actually had her tongue removed. She had mouth cancer, and she basically started painting and has just blown up in our local area. Just amazing stuff. Very bright, very vibrant, very fun and like whimsical. And when I saw this, the name of it was Blonde Hair Girl with a Cat. My wife happens to have blonde hair, and she also loves cats. And so I just loved it. I thought it was really cool, a little bit abstract, and it's just beautiful. It's got like glitter and all sorts of like fun stuff. I loved it so much that we ended up commissioning her to do something a little bit larger. So check it out. This is my basement. So you've got the one painting there, you've got the other one down there, and it just kind of like ties it together, right? And then on this side, you've got the 2 flying houses, and then you got Buddha over there sitting, chilling, hanging out. This next piece is weird, but I think it is super cool. It's a triptych, meaning it's 3 separate pictures of a woman super sassy with a riding crop, having a horse jump over another horse. Do you dig that? You just think it's cool? You think it's weird? I thought it was weird and cool, and I thought it was awesome. Let's see, other stuff that I have. Nothing else is really like expensive, but some other things that I just really kind of were drawn to, right? I got this for like 20 bucks. It's like Coco Chanel's like fashion soup, kind of like an Andy Warhol, but it was fashion, so I thought, oh, cool. And then it kind of complements those little paintings up there. You got Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, spare bedroom action, right? Just super cool. Oh, I guess I gotta show you this too. I have this painted for my wife. It didn't turn out as well as I hoped it would. It's from this artist, this local artist, and I was like, hey, can you make like all my cats and the one that actually passed away, Shmoo, can you put them in a painting? And she's like, sure. So you got Frank, Birdie, Piglet, and Angelo, and what do you think, Frank? Yeah? He wasn't very impressed either. Virgin Mary over the toilet. And then another one across the way on the other wall. And then over here, some more. Now these are just like kind of cool. Remember how I mentioned I love like iconology? It really does go back to like my grandmother and my grandparents. They are very, very, very like super Catholic. And so it just kind of reminds me of them. And I don't know, I just think it's cool. Anyway, so the funny story with these little small ones, once again, I got all of these. It's the same artist from my gallery, my local gallery. I was on their Instagram and I saw that they had like these like Virgin Mother Mary things, and I was like, awesome. And they had like pictures of these, and I thought, wow, they're really cool. They're really neat. I wanna go get some or get one or see what the price is. And so we get there, and I go in and I see the gallery owner, Don. I go, hey, where were those images of the religious like iconology things? She's like, oh, they're over in that like shoebox over on the shelf. I go, in the shoebox? I literally thought these were gigantic because all it showed was like big close-ups of them. And so I had no like reference point in terms of size, and they're like 20 bucks each. So I was like, I'll just take them all because it's a funny story and I just think they're cool, and so I'll do something with them. The other cool thing about art is that it's a conversation piece. When people come over, never fails, they always come up to this. It's an underside of a bridge, and they'll be like, oh, do you know the bridge? I'm like, no, I have no idea. I just thought it was cool, but it definitely, I don't know. What do you think? Do you dig that? Anyway, now let's go to the office. That's where the weird stuff is. So my office has so much crap. I think I'm just gonna rapid fire kind of go through and show you some of the things that I think are cool, that I love, and go from there. And then that'll be that. All right, so this right here, it's a donkey. It didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to. This was a commissioned piece from some artist. I think it cost like $3,000, and I was very disappointed. It was too dark, it just wasn't that good. All right, another donkey, boom, over here, all right? So for those of you who don't know, donkeys are kind of like my spirit animal. And the reason is because when I was growing up, my mom, she had like a herd of miniature Sicilian donkeys, and so I always have just loved them. And so lots of pictures and things of donkeys everywhere, all right? I also love owls. So this up here is another piece that I had commissioned. It's from an artist, her name is Bailey Jack, same person who did that donkey over there. And basically I said, hey, I love St. Francis. He is the patron saint of animals. And my grandfather, Frank Cassoni, was named after St. Francis. And so I wanted St. Francis along with my cat Piglet, Pedro the donkey, and then some sheep. I thought it was pretty cool. I still dig that to this day. More donkey stuff. That giraffe right there, this picture right there. If you guys want the story of that, that is probably one of the most sentimental pictures that I have. That was the last thing I bought before I filed bankruptcy. It was a gift for my wife. For Christmas, she loved it. Anyway, I'll start crying if I talk about that. If you want the story of the giraffe sometime, let me know. Those pictures right there, painted by my assistant Debbie's daughter, Grace, who is wicked, wildly talented. Here's another one that she did recently. Look at that. It is insane. All right, this wall. Also, some more art stuff, T. Hanley stuff. That is actually a photograph that I took with my cell phone of a train and the graffiti. I just really like train graffiti. I think it's cool. I also got one that said Alpha. Literally, that was a train that was going by, and I was taking pictures, and I got one that said Alpha. I thought that was cool. Anyway, that's pretty much it. There's another one of my train graffiti. I love train graffiti, and so it's just kind of a weird thing, and Pete and Pedro. Okay, so let me show you something else. So, you know how I said I love like iconology? All right, so my grandmother, super crazy Catholic. My entire childhood growing up, I'd go over to her house and she was sitting there with the rosary beads. There was probably like 30 different statues or Jesus on crucifixes or Mary and all that good stuff, right? So anyway, so there was this big crucifix of Jesus in her house my entire childhood. Well, when she was moving out of her home and she had to go into like an assisted living facility, nobody would take Jesus. And so she calls me, my sweet little Nan is like, Aaron, she's like, nobody will take Jesus. I'm like, what? Oh my God. And so I end up paying to have Jesus shipped from Philadelphia down to Atlanta. And so I have to warn people before they go to the bathroom in my office because it's a little bit startling when you walk down the hall, but this is what you see. Boom. And this is like no little like crucifix, right? This thing is heavy. It's actually from a church. It was the one like over the altar. I also, what? Godfather. Come on, you can't be an Italian without a Godfather reference or picture. Let's go into my bathroom. Another artist there. I met him in person, Ramiro Brito. He was pretty cool. And then, yes, That's actually just some Tiege Hanley stuff. Here we go, right? Chicken. This is actually done on a piece of cardboard with, yeah, anyway, like I said, I'll find like just stuff and I love it or I think it's cool and it was crafty, and I really love roosters because my grandfather, he had a bunch of roosters, or no, he had one rooster, he had a bunch of chickens growing up. Oh, whoa, right here. This one's special. A chorus line. So, when I was in 8th grade, my father took me to the last Broadway showing of the musical A Chorus Line on Broadway. It was the last showing before it went off Broadway. Outside of the theater, the original cast members that, if you know anything about Chorus Line, they're all like, they're lined up like that, right? So anyway, what happened was the people that were still alive and didn't die from AIDS, basically, were there and they were autographing the original cast. It was on Broadway for like 20 years. It was a long time. They were there and they autographed over their, I'm not sure if you can really see it, their person. And so this is really special. It's something that my dad and I did, and it's like one of a kind, and I love it, right? So anyway, boom, another donkey. Over here, whoa, my wall of stuff. Some more animals. I love that owl. I also love the giraffe. I thought it was cool. And let's see. Oh yeah, another donkey. I got a lot of donkey stuff. Anyway, that's where I'm gonna wrap things up. Guys, if you dug this little tour of my collection, AKA artifacts, why don't you drop me one of these? I just wanted to share. I love art. I love art so much. I personally would rather spend money on something that I see every single day, that I resonate with, that I love, that just basically makes me feel inspired, as opposed to buying like fancy cars or clothes or anything like that. I personally will spend a little bit of cash on some art, but right now I'm not spending anything because I gotta buy sconces for the new house.